Yeah, g'day. Will Holt, Bendigo Sheep and Lamb Market Report for the 15th of June 2026. Today at Bendigo Agents yarded about 10,000 lambs and 6,500 sheep after a week off last week. Sort of double the size yarding as what we've been seeing, and one of the best yardings we have seen here for a while. A lot of well-finished, extra heavy sort of lambs. There was a yarding where you pretty much were top and tail. There was a good run of heavies and not many trades in the middle, and a fair bit of rough sort of wintry type of lambs. But anyway, we'll get underway in the lamb job here today. Topped out at about 390 or 400 odd bucks. Yeah, those heavy lambs, like once you're over 34 kilos, you're sort of 10 to 10.50. Not really a lot of lambs in excess of that. Get back into that next sort of cut of lambs, that sort of more ideal heavy lamb, sort of 28 to 32 kilos. I think you're sort of late 10s on the majority of them. There would be the odd sale sort of nudging 11 bucks, but very isolated in that. As I said, very few trade lambs here to quote on. Of the tradie weighted sort of lambs, I think majority of them would be exotics. Might be the odd sort of exotic lamb, 24 or 5 kilos, that is making in excess of $11, but very few of that to quote on really. Merino lambs, pretty good run of merinos here today. Merino lambs sort of out to 330 and 40 bucks, but you sort of got 35 or $40 worth of skin on them. They're 27.5, 28 kilos. So I think a lot of those good grain-fed merinos are in spots are just shy of 10 bucks a kilo, up to sort of 10.30 or 40. Restocking lambs, as I said, very wintry type. Got to pick and choose between them, but they're much the same as what they have been, but quality is starting to dwindle there. Sheep job, I don't think we've seen it this year here before. Two of the major exporters just going to war on them. I think all sheep are in excess of $9 a kilo, out to 350 or 60 bucks. Basically nothing making under 200. So pretty much all your sheep are $9 plus, and only two people really driving that along. So, a lot of your heavy sheep just sort of 280 to 340 or 50 bucks to get into that next cut of sheep. You're sort of 240 to 260 for a lot of it. And, your light sheep, there is still a few sales, sort of 165 or 80, but they are very light, up to sort of 200 for your lighter end. But that is a very positive market in that sheep front. Anyway, that's a wrap from Bendigo. We'll catch up with you next week when McKen McGregor will be first sale. Thanks.